Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This week we're going to start off with something different. I'm going to answer a few questions I've been receiving. I'm just going to start off. So I've had a couple people ask how I do my filming or editing. So to do that, I'm going to switch to camera number 2. This is camera number 2. Okay, this is camera number 1. So those are the cameras I use. I just use cell phone. I usually just talk while I'm shooting. I don't do multiple takes. I think it does a couple things. Number one, it helps me probably be a little more calm during the building process, knowing that I'm going to use this footage. I guess I'll say this, the only exception I have is whenever I'm doing this, when I'm talking to the camera, that's when I do the absolute worst. So I'll do a couple clips here, but I do much better when I'm just talking about the car. If I remember trying to just talk to YouTube, I struggle. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. That's all I have to say. I have never anything to say. All right, so I always do this, I have nothing to say. This week we're gonna try and we'll just keep moving. Keep moving. So next week we'll do a deep dive in the back. Welcome back. For those of you, I'm pretty sure it'll come this week. Maybe some additional vinyl wrapping. Next question I get often, you know, well, what's your background, or you know, how do you know what you're doing? The short answer is I don't know what I'm doing. So I guess one other thing I'll say, when I started this channel, I thought I should be very transparent about the whole process, about what I'm doing, the struggles. I think I always viewed a lot of YouTube channels or other just content that I just thought, man, these people are amazing and they're so good at what they're doing. And I just thought, man, there's no middle ground. There's either the people that have no experience, or there's these people that just can do anything. And so I just wanted to take some time and kind of show people the process of somebody that really just doesn't have experience, and kind of just walk through some of the process, some of the struggles. And I think it's been very good. I think there's very few people that do it this way. Not a lot of content like this. So I hope you enjoy the reality factor. So if you'd like other questions answered, please put them in the comments below. If you guys like this, I'll maybe answer a couple questions every week. But for now, let's get to that build. Okay, I've connected pack 1 and 2 in parallel. The only thing I've got different is I've got a little voltage stabilizer that's going just to this guy. So we'll see if we've got the same issue or if it's better. So it seems like it went through. Maybe I'll try it 1 or 2 more times here. Well, it seems like we've got the issue again, so I don't know if we fried the board or not, but so the controller won't turn on anymore. It's very reminiscent of the first go around when the board was fried. So at this point, I'll reach out one more time to EV Controls. Again, they've been great to work with, so we'll see what other options we have. Well, we were so close, so close. I thought we had all our electrical issues sorted out, but we don't. So I will figure out what to do, but in the meantime, we're gonna work on some body work. Okay, this week, I think I want to start focusing on the doors, getting the hinges mounted, getting the door on that hinge. I've got a little gas spring to kind of help take the weight off of it and have it go up. Maybe even mount striker plates and things like that. So that's where we'll start. All right, I've got these gas springs, and one of them mounts right about here. So there's a little metal tab here that's got some threads that I need to clean out with a new tap, but I need to drill a hole, kind of clearance hole for what the gas spring attaches to. So that is this guy. So I'm just going to give it a clearance hole enough that you can kind of get a socket on it. But yeah, so we'll drill holes on both sides. While I'm at it, I'll probably do some rib nuts to start kind of seeing where I'm going to fasten the rear clamshell. I think I'll do at least 2 here, maybe 1 or 2 here, and then again on the other side. And again, my thought is rib nuts because I'll likely be taking this on and off. All right, there we have it. All right, so I've got the door held in place kind of where I think it should be. And then I've got this bracket here. This is kind of what the door fastens to. So I guess the instructions, I mean, what it seems like it wants you to do is it says put double stick tape on it and then press the door on it. But I tried it and there's just no way. I mean, the door, it's too heavy and there's too much jarring that it just pops off. So I'm trying some hot glue. If that doesn't work, I think what I'll do is I will mix up some epoxy and put it on there and then just kind of leave it like this overnight. Somehow I've got to get those two to kind of set so I can take it off, drill holes, and then get everything fastened. All right, I think I got the door mounted. So the hinge is right there and it kind of swings up. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it out, see what we think. So I think that looked pretty good. All right, I installed the gas spring. So now the door kind of opens and all the weight's taken off. The only thing is I need to just give it a little more clearance on the back. So when it all the way opens, it almost wants to get itself off of this little nub. So I need to give a little more clearance because when it pushes hard, again, it kind of starts to run into this and then wants to almost push itself off. But other than that, I quite like it. I'll show you how it works here. All right, so I'll go ahead and bring it down, and then I still don't have the striker plate or anything, so when it's down, it's not gonna stay there. So let's kind of put my hand on it, but then kind of pretend that I'm opening it, and you can just watch it go up. Well, so as I mentioned, the gas spring was trying to work its way off. As I pushed it down, apparently it didn't seat back on, it just kind of shot to the side. So I will go reattach. All right, I'm gonna open the door to kind of show you how this thing kind of walks off. So I'll slowly let it go up. So you can see that retaining clip starting to go. So anyways, that's kind of what it looks like. And if I go ahead and close it, basically it wants to just kind of continue to shoot off. So I have to kind of tap it back in, and that's why it currently doesn't work. I'll also show you that it kind of bottoms out before it closes. I'm just going to show here this, how much it pops off. So as I start to close this, I come in and I guess can't see it. have to find out something to do there because I can't have it pop off every time I open the door. All right, so we're gonna close it. And again, when we're about 3 or so inches from closing, you'll see it bottoms out. So try and go slow here. So right there, it's bottomed out, but we're not fully down. So I gotta just move that point, I think, on the door just by an inch, or not very much. Okay, after some additional looking, I'm quite certain that we've got the wrong gas spring. Now this is exactly specified from K1 and it clearly doesn't work. So number one, when it's fully extended, it goes too far, meaning it wants to kind of right itself off this. Number two, as I try and close it down, it actually bottoms out before the door closes. So I'll see if there's some way that I can make it work, but essentially it has it. When I say this, there's not really a instruction manual, but I've seen pictures where it kind of has it fastened here to the last one and to there. So again, this is in its full extent, and when it does this, this guy wants to kind of pop off. So I don't know if you can see it, but this little retaining clip is kind of being forced off. Well, that doesn't work. Yeah, gal, I come up with enough of my own problems, when I put things where they don't belong, but essentially getting what they recommend, trying how it's designed to do and how it still not works, a little frustrating. But I think what I'll do, I guess I can see two options. One is, I think I can weld on, I'll just kind of show here, if you can. So if I wanted to, so I can weld on here a little bit longer to have it work. Or the other thing is I can just get a different gas spring. So the gas springs are cheap. I don't know, I might look to see if there's something that's close. Basically, I just need it to, essentially when I close it, it needs to be smaller, and then when I open it, I don't want it to open quite as far. So I think that should be pretty easy to find. I just need to make sure it has the right ends and a similar force to kind of open the door. So we'll look at that, but I will start working on the other door, kind of gluing it in position and drilling holes, getting it mounted, even making the relief hole for the little nub that gas spring sits on. So I'll do that while I also kind of figure out what to do here. Before I try a different gas spring, before I order a different one, I'm wondering if I just got one that was like on the short side. So I'm going to see if I can lengthen it just with maybe some square tube, metal tube, and see if that will work. If I like it, I can weld it, but I feel like that'll at least let me know, give me a better idea of what I need for the gas spring if that doesn't work. So let me try that. All right, just took some square tube, cut it in half. My thought is I'll just put it on here, and that'll kind of allow it to get a little length off the back. To begin with, I'll probably just do some holes and bolt things down. If I like it, I may weld it. So again, this is the other door, but just again, it'll kind of be here, and this will allow me to kind of put it a little more outboard. Okay, so got my square stock cut and holes drilled and kind of refastened to everything. So basically my new little nub there is about an inch over, maybe an inch and a half. So we'll try it out on the car now and see what new problems we find. Okay, I've got the gas spring installed. I'm thinking, I'll show a little picture here of the other one, but the point that I picked, which was like an inch or two back, allows the gas spring to kind of completely, or anyways, not bottom out before it closes. But I also feel like it doesn't open the door quite as much, and so I might want to just drill a new hole, maybe split the difference there. I'll go ahead and show how this one works, hopefully. So it can go all the way down. It's got quite a lot of force. It does make me wonder if I want to get a different gas spring with less force. But again, assuming you just open the handle, it comes right up. Okay, so I think I've successfully been able to mount the bracket there for the door. I've got the spot that I think is probably the best for the gas spring. Just for everybody's benefit, I think what it is so I drilled a hole kind of here at the end, and it wants to be like maybe at the very end, like right at the very tip, or even just beyond it. That's kind of seems like where the best spot is. But now I'm going to go on to the striker plate. So it's going to mount right here. This goes on essentially on the underneath side to hold it on. So right now I've just kind of got it there. So I'm going to bring it down and kind of check out what I feel like is the correct orientation. It does seem like it's got maybe a little sink mark. Maybe that's like where one of, so I don't know. We might have some holes or divots where we think it needs to be. So I'll check that. But my thought is I'll just lower the door, kind of, see where that lands, and then maybe trace it and drill holes and go from there. All right, here's the plan. So I'm going to latch this in. I'm going to put a whole bunch of hot glue on it, close the door, and so when it's here in place, I'll let it cool. And obviously I've got to hold the door down so it doesn't pull up on it. But then I will unlatch it, and this should just stay behind, and then I've got my holes to drill. So we'll see how that works. All right, we had a few trial and errors, but got it, I think, glued where we want it. It's just the hot glue. And so when I push this down, so it clicks closed. I don't know that I really trust it to hot glue to hold that spring, but essentially that's kind of the, seems like what I want. And then if I do this, it comes open. So I'm liking it. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill some holes and get that back plate fastened. I went to mount this on, and the bolts that came with it are not long enough. So it's got to go through kind of a thick layer of fiberglass and then go onto here, and the threads are kind of sunk in a little bit, so you can maybe get like a thread. So anyway, I'm gonna get some longer bolts ordered. Okay, so with the gas spring, I think I'll keep this one. Like I said, my only concern is that it tends to pop itself off. So those connectors, the kind of that spherical ball that it sits on, and then the one that snaps on, it allows kind of a little bit of movement, but we're kind of going so far that it's like wanting to pop off. So I think what I need to do, I'll kind of be careful, or I'll look and double look, but I think I just need to bend. There's a bracket that holds, or that's got threads. I think it just needs to be maybe, because it's pitched a little bit towards the front, I just think I need to maybe pitch it a little bit more. Because right now, anytime I close the door, I'm worried it's going to kind of just pop off like it did the time before. So I'll look at that. Okay, on the passenger door, I ended up switching sides. So I'll call this like the little side. It used to be over there. So I just flipped it just to see if these clips kind of behave differently, and it seems to work this way. I'm gonna try it like 5 or 10 times, make sure it doesn't look like they're trying to walk off. But again, this one doesn't seem to walk off, that one doesn't seem to walk off. So I think that might work. I'll try it a couple times just to be sure. Okay, here's the one for the driver's side door. You'll notice it's like just quite a bit off. I'm guessing that's just due to their welding, because basically if I set that on the frame and set the door on, everything looks great. And my hot glue method seems to work well, so I'll go ahead and drill some holes and mount this one and see what it looks like. All right, getting this one ready. The driver's side, I'm just gonna say the welding was quite a bit off, like, or something. Anyway, it just doesn't even come close to the center of this. So I'm thinking it's either the welding here or the welding on the car. I guess I chose to kind of just shift this. What I maybe should have done is just cut those off, put this right where I want it, and then weld it back on. But I don't know, maybe we'll still end up doing that if we can't get it to work. But here's what we've got. I'm gonna try this one here at the very, very end, see if that gives us enough. If not, I'll just do like I did the other one, just put a little square tube on top and lengthen it just a little bit. But we're gonna go try this on and see if we can make it fit. All right, I'll try a couple more times, but so again, I've got everything loose up here and it's pretty close to line there, but back here it's like it really wants to spring out, which again, I think it just means that this bracket, either the bracket or that what they've welded there, it's just so misaligned that it's like kicking things out. So this one wants to kick out to the side. So it really wants to come forward. And so I could do things like put washers in behind there, try and have it kind of pull back. So I might try that, but again, I'm almost to the point where I'm just gonna cut off those and re-weld them. Okay, still having issues here. You can see that this is kind of just out a little bit. So when I don't have the gas spring on, it's fine. When I try and close with the gas spring, it kind of doesn't go in. And I'm finding out that, let's see if we can see it here. So the gas spring, so you can see it there, what happens is it actually gets stuck between the door and the shell. So I mean, it's like, you know, it's like squished on both sides. So I don't know what to do. The shell, it really can't go much further because right here this tab is what, anyways, that's why the shell can't go any further that way, because that's what's holding the gas spring there. I don't know, I'll see what else I can do, but again, just frustrating, kind of the lack of good fits here on this kit. All right, so I thought I'd come to the other side just to see how this side's working, because the other side wasn't. So this one, as I'm closing it, I don't know if you can tell, but it's got, oh, you can't really tell, but it's got room, like a lot of room. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's like a lot of room, like you can stick a finger in there. And the other one, it's kind of like hitting. So we'll have to see what I can do. All right, I put a stack of washers on the nub that's in the car to kind of space that gas spring away from the car. But this side still is like too close. So I think though, if I can get this one mounted just lower, then it might work. So I'm gonna have to figure out, I've got a selection of metal here, but I'm gonna figure out how to just mock it up and have it be lower, just to see if that'll work. And then, man, this door is a mess, but yeah, we'll see if we can get that to work. Okay, so I got this metal piece, kind of welded it there and there. This piece allows me to kind of just put this right there, but also just down a little bit. I also countersunk it a little bit. And again, that's trying to get the spring further away from the wall of the shell. So I'm going to go put this back in place and hopefully we got a better result. Okay, moment of truth. So I got the spring, gas spring on. I'm gonna close it and just see if we get a better alignment here. Okay, so I think I like that. I think that'll work. Again, the bracket had to do a lot of retrofitting, but I think that'll be good. So I'll go ahead and get the striker plate mounted so we can kind of latch the door closed, make sure everything works. Okay, so the things I did to get this to work, I put a stack of washers, I guess you can see it there, to try and get the gas spring away from the shell. The other interesting thing is this side does not have the same problem where this wants to pop off, and I think it's because that little metal bracket's angled a little bit more. So I think that bracket right there is kind of just bent a little bit more. So instead of coming out straight, it's coming out a little more like that, and I think that's what helps it stay on. So on the other side, I'll see if I can bend that bracket just a little bit so it doesn't want to come off. But yeah, I think we got this door working as well. Okay, so I have the striker plate mounted. Well, kind of mounted. I drilled the holes. I've got the screws through the hole. Like the other side, they're not long enough for this backer plate, but hopefully this will work. Fingers crossed here. So there's up. And then there's down. So then again, I think it matches pretty good. So I think I'm pleased with that. We still have a lot of these gaps we gotta fill up, but that'll probably be it for this week. Okay, I've got my helpers, Allison and Jackson. We're gonna try to open both doors. You guys count it down.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, back down. Good job. Okay, I haven't done this in a while, but tool of the week. I'm gonna go with hot glue gun. This one's a pretty cheapy one, so I might find a slightly better one and put that in the link in the description below. Okay, so my assessment of the doors, man, that's not an easy task. Some of, I think, the weld points may have just been off just a little bit, enough to kind of cause some issues, at least make it not super straightforward. But we powered through, and so now we've got some working doors. All right, so we've got another problem with the electrical. I'm not gonna tackle that one until we get the shell back off. So we'll see kind of what other things we wanna tackle while the shell and things are on, but then we'll probably take everything back apart and kind of do a deep dive on the electrical. So until then, hope you enjoyed it. See you next week.